Hamilton has just pulled off a move that left Ferrari fans picking their jaws up off the floor. Not only is he gearing up to jump into the prancing horse for 2025, but has also taken a massive step toward fully embracing the Ferrari legacy by delivering a speech in Italian at the team's headquarters in Maranello. And let me tell you, this wasn't some half-baked, ciao, spaghetti PR stunt. No, this was Hamilton making a statement, a crystal-clear declaration. He is all in on Ferrari, its people, and its traditions. He's diving headfirst into the Red Sea. But hold up. What does this really mean for the team? How is his transition going? And most importantly, could this give him a long-term edge over Charles Leclerc? Stick around, because we're unpacking every single juicy detail. But before we do, smash that like button and subscribe for all the F1 madness you won't want to miss. When Hamilton dropped the bombshell that he was leaving Mercedes for Ferrari, plenty of people raised an eyebrow, or both. How the hell was he going to fit into Ferrari's unique ecosystem? Because let's be real, Ferrari isn't just another F1 team. It's a religion in Italy. It's national pride. It's an entire way of life. So how did Hamilton handle this challenge? By going full throttle. He addressed the Ferrari team in their own language, giving a speech in Italian. And this wasn't just some symbolic PR trick. This was Hamilton making it crystal clear. I'm not just passing through. I'm here to become one of you. And guess what? This wasn't even entirely his idea. Stefano Domenicali, the CEO of F1 and a guy who knows Ferrari inside and out, had already advised Lewis to start learning Italian if he wanted to succeed. And like the champion he is, Hamilton took that advice and ran with it. Domenicali emphasized that integrating into Ferrari's culture would be key to his success, and Hamilton clearly got the message. The Ferrari team ate it up. They're seeing their new star driver not as a temporary guest, but as someone genuinely committed to becoming part of the family. And that could make all the difference because, in F1, team chemistry is just as important as raw speed. Over the years, we've seen what happens when a driver doesn't quite fit in. Fernando Alonso, one of the most talented drivers in history, struggled at Ferrari because he never fully aligned with their philosophy, while Michael Schumacher, the greatest Ferrari driver of all time, not only raced for the team, he became Ferrari. He built relationships that helped turn the team into an unstoppable force for years. And Hamilton gets that. He knows that winning in red isn't just about being fast. He needs the full backing of every engineer, mechanic, and strategist in that garage. And by speaking their language, both literally and figuratively, he's already laying the groundwork for something big. But this isn't just about team unity. It's also a massive power move in his upcoming rivalry with Charles Leclerc. Leclerc has been Ferrari's golden boy for years. He's a homegrown talent, speaks fluent Italian, and has spent years solidifying his place as the team's favorite son. But now, he's got a 7-time world champion breathing down his neck, and things are about to get spicy. F1 veteran Eddie Jordan has already warned that if Leclerc wants to keep his #1 status, he better step up, fast. Charles knows everyone in Maranello, he's their guy. But Lewis is already putting in the work, Jordan said. And let's be honest, if Leclerc thought his long-standing ties to Ferrari would give him a natural advantage, Hamilton's rapid adaptation could flip the script. And the thing is, this is just the beginning. Hamilton's journey with Ferrari is about so much more than just learning a few Italian phrases. Buckle up, because this ride is about to get wild. Lewis Hamilton isn't just dipping his toes into Ferrari waters, he's diving in headfirst like a man on a mission. And if his performance in the initial test sessions is anything to go by, he's already making waves. The guy has maximized his 4 allotted testing days in the SF23, squeezing every last drop of knowledge from the car like a man possessed. He's not just out there doing laps for the sake of it. He's studying, absorbing, dissecting every aspect of how the car behaves, how the team operates, and, most importantly, how he can shape the machine to fit his driving style like a custom-made Italian suit. And guess what? It's already paying off. Hamilton's feedback has been absolute gold dust for Ferrari's engineers, who are now fine-tuning the SF25 based on his input. They're tweaking everything, adjusting the car's behavior to suit his razor-sharp instincts behind the wheel. Word in the paddock is that he's far more comfortable in the Ferrari than he was in his most recent Mercedes, especially when it comes to brake balance and corner stability. Yeah, you heard that right. The same Lewis Hamilton who spent over a decade fine-tuning his craft in Silver Arrow's machinery now feels more at home in a Scarlet Missile than in his old ride. That's not what the skeptics expected, because let's be real, there were plenty of skeptics when Lewis made his shocking move to Ferrari. Some armchair analysts swore up and down that he was making the leap too late, that he was past his prime, that Ferrari would chew him up and spit him out like they have with so many others. But so far, the transition has been smoother than a glass of aged Italian wine. And if anything, it looks like Hamilton might have landed in Maranello at exactly the right time. Why? Because this isn't the same chaotic Ferrari team that's been infamous for internal drama, strategic disasters, and finger-pointing every time the shit hit the fan. No, sir. Ferrari has been going through a serious cultural shift under Fred Vasseur's leadership. For years, Ferrari had a reputation for being a pressure cooker of egos, politics, and blame games. One bad strategy call and suddenly half the team was looking over their shoulders, wondering who'd be thrown under the bus next. But Vasseur, he's not here for that soap opera nonsense. He's been rebuilding Ferrari from the inside out, shifting the focus from blame to accountability, from desperation to long-term vision. Instead of being a team at war with itself, Ferrari is evolving into a well-oiled machine where everyone is pulling in the same direction. And that, my friends, is the environment Hamilton has just stepped into. This isn't the Ferrari that chewed up and spat out legends like Alonso. This is a stronger, more unified Ferrari. And Hamilton? He might just be the final piece of the puzzle they've been missing. Now, let's talk about that speech in Italian. Because make no mistake, this wasn't just some cheesy PR stunt designed to win over the tifosi. Oh no. This was Hamilton sending a message, loud and clear. I'm not just here to drive your car, I'm here to become one of you. He didn't just show up, shake hands, and pretend to care. He fully committed. He spoke their language. He embraced their culture. And he made it clear that he's not treating Ferrari like a short-term fling. He's here to build something. And that is rare. We've seen plenty of top-tier drivers walk through Ferrari's doors. But how many of them have made this kind of effort to integrate so completely, so quickly? Not many. This level of commitment isn't just impressive. It's strategic. And here's where things get really interesting. Because Hamilton's full commitment to Ferrari isn't just about blending in, it's about winning. He's not here to take a victory lap at the end of his career. He's here to carve his name into the history books once again. And let's be real, if he can pull this off, if he can deliver Ferrari their first championship in nearly 2 decades, this won't just be another title. This will be the title. The one that cements him as the greatest of all time. Think about it. 7 championships with Mercedes were historic. But an 8th title? In Ferrari red? That's immortality. That's doing what Schumacher did. That's taking the most iconic team in F1 history and bringing them back to glory when they needed it most. And the scary thing, he might actually do it. Because everything we're seeing so far suggests that Ferrari is not just throwing everything at making Hamilton comfortable, they're building the car around him. His early feedback has been so precise, so valuable, that the engineers in Maranello are already adjusting their entire approach to development. It's not just about tweaking settings for him. It's about shaping the SF25 into a machine that perfectly suits his style. And you better believe Hamilton knows how to get a team wrapped around his finger. He did it with Mercedes. He transformed that squad from a promising team into a dynasty. He understands exactly how to use his influence to get a team to fully back him, to make him the central figure, to give him every ounce of support possible. And the way things are looking, it's already happening at Ferrari. Now, let's talk about the real elephant in the room, Charles Leclerc. Because let's face it, Leclerc is in the fight of his life. Ferrari was his team. He was supposed to be their future, their guy, the chosen one to bring them back to the top. And now, out of nowhere, Hamilton shows up, starts giving speeches in Italian, starts reshaping the car to his liking, starts winning over the mechanics, and suddenly, Charles is no longer the only star in Maranello. And that is a massive problem for Leclerc. Because while Ferrari may say they'll let them race as equals, we all know how this works. If one driver starts pulling ahead, if one driver becomes the clear championship contender, Ferrari will back them. And right now, Hamilton is already making sure he's in pole position for that role. Leclerc might have the home field advantage. He's been with Ferrari for years, he knows the team, he's built strong relationships, but Hamilton is an absolute master at playing the long game. He's integrating, he's influencing, he's embedding himself into the very DNA of Ferrari. And if the engineers start listening to him more than Leclerc, if the strategists start tailoring their calls to his needs, if the team naturally starts leaning towards Hamilton as their best shot at the title, then Leclerc is in for a long season. And this isn't just some minor inter-team battle. This is legacy-defining. If Leclerc gets outshined by 40-year-old Hamilton, his entire standing in F1 changes. No longer the future Ferrari world champion, just another talented driver who couldn't quite get it done when it mattered. But if he fights back, if he can hold his ground against Hamilton, if he can beat him in equal machinery, then he cements himself as the real deal. This is make or break for Charles Leclerc. And you better believe he knows it. And let's not forget, this is all happening against the backdrop of the most stacked grid we've seen in years. Red Bull is still the team to beat. Verstappen isn't going anywhere. McLaren is surging. Mercedes, even in their struggles, will be lurking. This isn't just Ferrari's fight, it's everyone's. And that's what makes 2025 so damn exciting. Because for the first time in years, Ferrari actually looks ready to fight for a championship. And Hamilton isn't just another driver joining the team. He's a force that could shift the entire power balance in F1. So here we are, on the verge of one of the most explosive and high-stakes Formula One seasons in recent memory. The stage is set. The players are in position. And at the heart of it all, Lewis Hamilton, Ferrari, and a destiny waiting to be rewritten. Hamilton's move to Ferrari isn't just another driver switch. It's a statement. It's an all-in gamble on history. It's a 7-time world champion stepping into the most iconic but most volatile team in F1, determined to carve out one last chapter that could define his entire legacy. And the crazy part? It's already working. He's not just wearing Ferrari red. He's becoming Ferrari, integrating into the culture, speaking the language, influencing the car development, winning over the team before even turning a wheel in competition. He knows the game, and is playing it at a level that few can match. But this isn't just about Hamilton. This is about Ferrari, about whether they can finally stop being their own worst enemy, about whether they've truly learned from the last 15 years of false dawns, of self-inflicted wounds, of championship hopes turning into tragic what-ifs. They have the car. They have the drivers. They have the leadership. But do they have the execution? Do they have the mentality of champions? Because standing in their way is everything. Red Bull, still the unstoppable juggernaut, with Verstappen waiting to crush anyone who dares step to him. McLaren, rising fast, ready to prove they belong at the top. Mercedes, licking their wounds but never to be underestimated. The competition is brutal, and Ferrari can't afford a single misstep. And then there's Charles Leclerc, the man who was supposed to be Ferrari's future, now facing the biggest fight of his career. Can he withstand the Hamilton storm? Can he prove that Ferrari should still be built around him? Or is he about to be completely overshadowed by the most decorated driver of this era? This is what makes 2025 so much more than just another F1 season. It's a reckoning. It's the season where Hamilton either etches his name into Ferrari's history forever, or learns the hard way that no one, not even the GOAT, can tame the wild beast that is the Scuderia. It's the season where Ferrari either finally gets it right, or adds another gut-wrenching chapter to their long list of heartbreaks. It's the season where Leclerc either cements himself as a true future world champion, or watches helplessly as Hamilton steals his throne. So, what happens next? Does Hamilton pull off the greatest power move in F1 history? Does Ferrari rise to the occasion or collapse under the weight of expectation? Does Leclerc fight back and prove he is the future of the team? All we know is this: history is waiting. And 2025? It's going to be absolutely